Everyone, welcome back again. We're back to our next lesson with A Course in Miracles, which is 136 today. It's another long one, so I'm sat here sort of getting ready to go through it all with you. And yeah, as always, there is a link under this video so you can check out the text there yourself or read along with the book or just listen, whatever suits you. Okay, here we go. Sickness is a defense against the truth. That is our statement of the day. Sickness is a defense against the truth. So we're getting into the defense side of things. No one can heal unless he understands what purpose sickness seems to serve. But then he understands as well its purpose has no meaning, because causeless and without a meaning intent of any kind it cannot be at all. When this is seen, healing is automatic. It dispels this meaningless illusion by the same approach that carries all of them to truth, and merely leaves them there to disappear. Sickness is not an accident. Like all defenses, it is an insane device for self-deception. And like all the rest, its purpose is to hide reality, attack it, change it, render it inept, distort it, twist it, or reduce it to a little pile of unassembled parts. The aim of all defences is to keep the truth from being whole. The parts are seen as if each one were whole within itself. Defences are not unintentional, nor are they made without awareness. They are secret, magic wands you wave when truth appears to threaten what you would believe. They seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidity with which you choose to use them in that second, even less, in which the choice is made, you recognize exactly what you would attempt to do and then proceed to think that it is done. Yeah, our beliefs about this world are so powerful. I mean, this is the thing that's taking such a, these concepts seem so far out for our minds to actually take in that, sickness isn't an accident, that it's a defense against the truth. And, when you feel sick, it feels so real, right? And so to think it's not actually real, the mind just is kind of like, yeah, it's clung on to these. It's clung on to these beliefs, like it says. It's like a secret magic word that it just, before we know it, we've attached to it. We don't consciously seem to be aware of what we're doing, but we feel it. It's like we're feeling that something is amiss with illness, with feeling ill. We need to think differently about it when we feel ill, rather than thinking, oh, I'm heading for death or something like that. We've got to think about it differently, that it's a call to let go and to understand what you really are. Because when you're attaching to sickness, you're attaching to the body, you're attaching to the illusion, and therefore attached strongly to the ego mind. So who but yourself evaluates a threat, decides escape is necessary, and sets up a series of defences to reduce the threat that has been judged as real? All this cannot be done unconsciously, but afterwards your plan requires that you must forget you made it. So it seems to be external to your own intent, a happening beyond your state of mind, an outcome with a real effect on you, instead of one affected by yourself. Yeah, we're creating the sickness within ourselves. It's not like we are being given a sickness. We've created it. Now, that's something like really to, why would we create it? Because it's kind of like we want to believe in something that is not true. We're believing the illusion. We're getting wrapped up in things that are not real. So yeah, just think about that. It is this quick forgetting of the part you play in making your reality that makes defences seem to be beyond your own control. But what you have forgot can be remembered, giving willingness to reconsider the decision which is doubly shielded by oblivion. Yes, This decision we keep making every day, these beliefs we keep believing every day have got us into an oblivion. You know, we don't see. We don't see. Your not remembering is but the sign that this decision still remains in force, as far as your desires are concerned. Mistake not this for fact. Defences must make facts unrecognizable. They aim at doing this, and it is this they do. Every defence takes fragments of the whole, assembles them without regard to all their true relationships, and thus constructs illusions of a whole that is not there. It is this process that imposes threat, and not whatever outcome may result. When parts are wrested from the whole and seem as separate and wholes within themselves, they become symbols standing for attack upon the whole, successful in effect and never to be seen as whole again. And yet you have forgotten that they stand but for your own decision of what should be real, to take the place of what is real. So yeah, sickness is another separate thing, because it's almost like you've got a separate body, now you've got a separate illness within the body, which is separate, and it's like the more separation we have, the further away we are from our source. So sickness is a decision. It is not a thing that happens to you quite unsought, which makes you weak and brings you suffering. It is a choice you make, a plan you lay, when for an instant truth arises in your own deluded mind, and all your world appears to totter and prepare to fall. Now are you sick, that truth may go away and threaten your establishments no more. Yes, it's almost like illness is more of a huger fear. You know, illness is like, oh, maybe you were getting close to source. It's like, oh my goodness, I need to create an illness. That'll get me further away because I'm afraid of love. I'm afraid of the true connection. I'm afraid of the light. And we have to let go of all that fear. Once we let go of the fear, we can be whole again. We can connect. So how do you think that sickness can succeed in shielding you from truth? Because it proves the body is not separate from you, and so you must be separate from the truth. You suffer pain because the body does, and in this pain are you made one with it. Thus is your true identity preserved, and the strange haunting thought that you might be something beyond the little pile of dust silenced and stilled. For see, this dust can make you suffer, twist your limbs and stop your heart, commanding you to die and cease to be. Yeah, I mean, when we get an illness, we become so separate, because we are like, we feel the body then. It's like, this is real, I can feel the pain, this is so real, this body is me, I am this body, you know. And yet when people get close to death, these ones that have really got close and then come back, they have fallen into this like amazing feeling of love, and some of them didn't want to come back, but they feel they had to come back for some kind of lesson, to come back and extend love. And a lot of them have done that. You know, they've come back with these amazing stories, and they're helping others to connect back to source. So it's like their purpose almost is to come back and extend love, which is what we all are. Our whole purpose here is to extend love. When we get on that track, we're in flow with what we're meant to be doing. Like yesterday, you know, we're not meant to plan. We have to allow source energy to give us the guidance of what we're meant to do, and just do it in such peaceful, loving, in flow ways, you know. Thus is the body stronger than the truth, which asks you to live but cannot overcome your choice to die. And so the body is more powerful than everlasting life, heaven more frail than hell, and God's design for the salvation of his Son opposed by a decision stronger than his will. His Son is dust, the Father incomplete, and chaos sits in triumph on his throne. Such is your planning for your own defence, and you believe that heaven quails before such mad attacks as these, with God made blind by your illusions, truth turned into lies, and all the universe made slave to laws which your defences would impose on it. Yet who believes illusions but the one who made them up? Who else can see them and react to them as if they were the truth? Our mind is where all of this stems from. What we believe. What we believe. When you really get to the core of what you believe, that's what your reality becomes, on these core beliefs. And they're so structured in, one, what you've kind of grown up with, your surroundings, you've made beliefs around that, how you viewed the world and the laws that have been governed by the world and all the stuff outside. You've created your own beliefs about that. And all of these things that you've seen in your life, you've taken in, and you've created another belief and another belief, and then you've created meanings onto everything. And then the body, as this is saying, because I'm sorry I'm going off track maybe a bit with the lesson, but I'm just trying to incorporate like the overall meaning of the course and why it's sort of talking about the body being a separate thing, that it's not real, that we are, we are here, as I've just said, to extend love. And all these beliefs that I was saying, all these things that we believe about ourselves, about our identity, our body, our, everything that goes on with it and everything we viewed of it, we've created strong core beliefs that then they are the projectors of our world. So because we believe what we believe, that is what we see in the external world. But we can change that by going inside and really turning these beliefs upside down. And this book, with these lessons, are turning those beliefs. Like they're starting to make you kind of, initially the first sort of, well, what I felt when I read it is like, this can't be real, and it makes you sort of look at the world very like split in two, because you're in the middle of truth, but you're also in the where the illusion is as well, because the illusion has been what you have been living in. It's like you've been living in it so strongly, but now you've got another concept, and so that's there too. So you've kind of in the middle and you don't know where to go. It's like you're in this sort of no man's land where you're trying to figure out, how do I navigate my life now that I know this illusion, or that this illusion is starting to fracture. I'm starting to see, I'm starting to feel, I'm starting to understand that this might not be true. This, what I've made real, might not be real. So it's really, it's shaking the ground from which we have been living. And the body is the one strong thing that separates us from it all. So the body has become such an idol in this world. Look at all the stuff you can do for the body, exercise, the diet, the plastic surgery, the outfits, the extensions, the makeup, it's like, how much more can we put, it's just on and on and on and on and on. And this just keeps you further and further down this oblivion, it was saying, the further away. So the sickness is just the same. It's like another layer. There's so many sicknesses out there, so many things to be scared of, to constantly feel that you need to protect yourself against. And so when you're living in a state of fear, you are never going to connect to love, because you can't have love and fear at the same time. You're either in one or the other. And so we want to be choosing love. That's what we want to be choosing. Okay, let me get back to the lesson. God knows not of your plans to change his will. The universe remains unheeding of the laws by which you thought to govern it, and heaven has not bowed to hell, nor life to death. You can but choose to think you die, or suffer sickness, or distort the truth in any way. What is created is apart from all of this. Defences are plans to defeat what cannot be attacked. What is unalterable cannot change, and what is wholly sinless cannot sin. Such is the simple truth. It does not make appeal to might nor triumph. It does not command obedience nor seek to prove how pitiful and futile your attempts to plan defences that would alter it. Truth merely wants to give you happiness, for such its purpose is. Perhaps it sighs a little when you throw away its gifts, and yet it knows with perfect certainty that what God wills for you must be received. So there's no getting away from the truth. It's there, and it's just standing there in its glory, waiting for you to connect with it. It's not trying to create any demands or push or pressure you. The ego does all of that because it's forcing you away from it. But the connection with God is as source, universe, whatever you want to call it, is just there, eternal, will never change, just waiting for you to come home. It is this fact that demonstrates that time is an illusion. For time lets you think what God has given you is not the truth right now, as it must be. The thoughts of God are quite apart from time. For time, it but another meaningless defence you made against the truth. Yet what he wills is here, and you remain as he created you. Truth has a power far beyond defence, for no illusions can remain where truth has been allowed to enter, and it comes to any mind that would lay down its arms and cease to play with folly. It is found at any time today if you will choose to practice giving welcome to the truth. This is our aim today, and we will give a quarter of an hour twice to ask the truth to come to us and set us free. And truth will come, for it has never been apart from us. It merely waits for just this invitation, which we give today. We introduce it with a healing prayer to help us rise above defensiveness and let truth be as it has always been. So this is what we're saying. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. So we're doing that for 15 minutes, twice today. Healing will flash across your open mind as peace and truth arise to take the place of war and vain imaginings. There will be no dark corners sickness can conceal and keep defended from the light of truth. There will be no dim figures from your dreams, nor their obscure and meaningless pursuits, with double purposes insanely sought, remaining in your mind. It will be healed of all the sickly wishes that it tried to authorize the body to obey. Now is the body healed, because the source of sickness has been opened to relief, and you will recognize you practiced well by this. The body should not feel at all. If you have been successful, there will be no sense of feeling ill or feeling well, of pain or pleasure. No response at all is in the mind to what the body does. Its usefulness remains and nothing more. As it said yesterday, the body is just a communication device. That's it. So once we've got into this state, we've done the practice correctly, connected correctly by saying sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth and of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. When we say that, we allow that to really come in, shift the mind to a point where we don't feel anything in the body. We don't feel sickness, we don't feel anything. It's like the body is just what that is, that communication device. And in that state, we've become one again. Perhaps you do not realize that this removes the limits you had placed upon the body by the purpose you gave to it. As these are laid aside, the strength the body has will always be enough to serve all truly useful purposes. The body's health is fully guaranteed because it is not limited by time, by weather or fatigue, by food and drink or any laws you made it serve before. You need do nothing now to make it well, for sickness has become impossible. Yet this protection needs to be preserved by carefully watching. If you let your mind harbour attack thoughts, yield to judgment or make plans against uncertainties to come, you have again misplaced yourself and made a bodily identity which will attack the body, for the mind is sick. See, that's it. All of these sick feelings that we get in the body is because our mind has gone sick. We're causing problem, we're finding suffering in the world, we're finding grievances, we're finding problems, we're trying to plan, we're trying to force, and the body is like, what is going on? I can't. It's like the sickness is almost a little wake-up call. Hello? Time to check in with yourself, true self, because you've lost it. Here's a bit of illness to bring you back. So give instant remedy should this occur by not allowing your defences to hurt you longer. Do not be confused about what must be healed, but to tell yourself this. I have forgotten what I really am, for I mistook my body for myself. Sickness is a defence against the truth, but I am not a body, and my mind cannot attack, so I cannot be sick. Yep, you cannot be sick. Try and wrap your mind around that, because, I mean, how many illnesses have we had? How much is going on in the world right now? You know, it's like there's a lot of disconnection in the world, right? When you look at it now on a global scale. But we have an opportunity here to really heal, you know, and it's crazy because pain is so real, isn't it? It feels so real. It's like when you hit your hand, you know, it feels so real. Everything feels so real. But this course is saying it's an illusion. It's telling us that, you know, this is just an experience. It's an experience we've been landed into, which has taken us away. And it's like, what are you doing? You're playing a game that really... Why do you want to create a game of suffering when there is a whole load of love over here waiting for you to just be in bliss forever? But it's like we've taken a little experience of suffering. We want to go off and suffer in a bit. Well, I like this suffering world. I can figure it out. I can make happiness and love and all the other things in here, and I'm going to try. I'm going to pull and try. And off you go, trying to do that. And, you know, it's this circle of things. So, yeah, there's a lot to learn from today's lesson. So enjoy it, and we'll be back again soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.